The big story this morning, of course, concerns Donald Trump. It happened to a large extent in the early hours of our morning today, and it was once again Donald Trump turning up for what the Democrats think is another humiliating appearance in front of law enforcement officials. They think what it is Donald Trump being shown up to be a criminal. They think what it is if they put Donald Trump in a situation where he's having his mugshot taken, if they put Donald Trump in a situation where he's having his fingerprints taken, they think if they show Donald Trump turning up at a county jail, that the voters will go, oh my goodness me, he must be guilty of something. But unfortunately, it's all rather backfiring on them, isn't it? Because Donald Trump actually is running rings around the prosecutors in Georgia, in Florida, in Washington, D.C., and in New York City. Because nowhere in any of those locations is the feeling that Donald Trump is going to go down for any of this stuff. Have a look at what he said after yesterday's appearance at the county jail.
And that goes with the other ones too. What they're doing is election interference. They're trying to interfere with an election. There's never been anything like it in our country before. This is their way of campaigning. And this is one instance, but you have 3 other instances. It's election interference. So I want to thank you for being here. We did nothing wrong at all, and we have every right, every single right, to challenge an election that we think is dishonest, that we think it's very dishonest. So thank you all very much, and I'll see you very soon. Thank you very much.
And that was quite a different Donald Trump to the one that we've seen in previous incarnations of these charges. Because, of course, what you know is that all of the indictments that get handed down about Donald Trump get more serious depending on who you listen to, which particular media outlet starts kind of slavering at the lips because they see the most dangerous thing finally being locked away for good. I mean, it really is quite pathetic the way that some media organisations treat Donald Trump, the way that they regard Donald Trump as some kind of ghastly individual who shouldn't ever be able to see the light of day, never mind have the ability to speak for himself and for an awful lot of people. The truth of the matter is this: the Democrats are desperate. The Democrats have got a leader who looks as though you would not trust him to look after your dog for the weekend. They've got a guy who looks as though if you sent him down to the shops to pick up a pint of milk, he'd come back with nothing and say, I don't know why I went down there. They've got a guy leading the country who doesn't seem to know what day it is. He's not also very sure what his name is. In fact, quite regularly, it's a triumph if he manages to get from the White House to Air Force or Marine One, the helicopter, without falling flat on his face. That's currently where we are, ladies and gentlemen, with the American democracy. And I've lived in America, as you know, and I'm rather sad to see it go into such a terrible, terrible hole in the ground. But have a look at the picture to my left, depending on which way you're looking at the TV. It's Donald Trump, and it's a mugshot. It looks like an advert for the next series of The Apprentice. Donald Trump is the ultimate reality TV star. You might not like him, you might not like what he does, you might not like what he says, you might not like how he treats people, but he was a much better president than Joe Biden has ever been. And America was in a much better state. And so was the world, mind you. He's not the answer to everything, but the more that they try and suppress his right to free speech, the more they try and lock him up and put him down and cancel him, because that's what's going on here. Let's not forget. The Democrats are trying to cancel Donald Trump. He said it for the first time last night, and I'll say it for you today. They are now interfering in an upcoming election. They're trying to stop the Republicans from having the nominee that they want, which is Donald Trump. They're trying to prevent him getting into the White House because they know that he would probably beat Joe Biden in a 1-against-1 runoff. So watch it all very carefully. Don't believe everything you hear from some of the so-called left-wing media, because they will say that Donald Trump is going to be going to prison. They will say these are the most serious charges anybody's ever faced. They will say it's the first time a president has ever been in a court of law charged with criminal counts, because they don't know what they're talking about. They don't understand America. They don't understand Donald Trump, and they certainly don't understand the voters. Stick with TalkTV. We'll let you know how it goes.